Hello, Mr. Sylvester Stallone. How are you?
Good. One question, guys.
Oh, one question? Well, I'll ask this question now. I don't think there's been ever a more important time where you could bring a reference of Drunkenstein into a film. Please tell me you put that in this movie.
Drunkenstein?
Yes. I'm not
You're talking about that horrible movie? Oh,
I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about just the song.
The song's clever. Dolly Parton wrote a clever song. It's just my delivery of it is pretty horrifying.
I think the delivery of it's excellent and iconic, and I want you to reference it in either this movie or the sequel. Tell me what's going on with the sequel of this, since everybody goes to see this next month.
You know what? I kind of like do parodies of myself, but actually, you got my wheels turning. That could actually be funny. Like in a jukebox in the background, you just hear it going.
I'm from Nashville, and you don't know how many people would stand up and cheer in the theater if Drunkenstein came on the soundtrack of this or Expendables 2, and I'm not kidding you.
Well, it won't be on this one, but it could be on the sequel. But you really mean that?
I mean that, like, beyond, I know the words. Frankenstein created, or Budweiser created a monster. Yes, this is the best song.
It's very clever. It's just that unfortunately the movie didn't work, and I said, oh, well. But you're right, it's a clever song.
The song works beyond the movie, and I know Clint Eastwood has Beers to You. I don't know if you've ever heard that with Ray Charles, and that's another big one. You got to bring Drunkenstein back, because Beers to You right now is beating Drunkenstein in the iconic action hero music.
Made an impression. You did.
But can you tell me just real quick what you guys are going to do with the Expendables 2? You know this is going to beat Scott Pilgrim and the other Eat, Love, Pray, Die movie that's coming out. Can you tell me where this is going to go from here?
It's got to go someplace. In a serious note, all of us have just about attacked and been in every action shot, every situation. We have left little of the planet unscorched. So I believe, and especially to appeal to this crowd, it has to go in a very, let's say, unsuspecting area that you would not expect at all. I believe it would have to go almost close to something you say almost supernatural, like really out there. Really out there.
Just real quick, when we were at the Rambo 5 junket, you said that you had an idea for Rambo 6 that was so beyond anything could imagine. Was that the idea for this movie, or is there still an idea out there for...
It was. They're kind of like, a lot of ideas get cross-collateralized, and you sort of pull a piece out here. It's something like I've been waiting 20 years to use one line. I put it in like 4 different films and it never worked. Finally, I stuck it in this one. So the one may not have worked for Rambo, but I think there's a germ of an idea that may work for the Expendables that would take in an area you would not ever expect it to have gone. And that's the key to the whole thing, is to keep people off balance so they're not one step ahead of you. Right.
Gotta ask you about that.
Okay, sure. This is going to be one of the highlights, because, you know, this is kind of a man's movie, and, you know, people say it over and over again how much we owe these guys. The fact that they're doing this gives us a chance to make movies. So this is a big time payback, and I think they'll like the fact. Also, we have a military vet in the film with Randy Couture, so I think it's all going to resonate.
What can we expect from the Expendables, and how many injuries happened on set?
About 14 big ones, for real.
Did you count how many deaths?
Well, if you count, oh yeah, it's pretty close, because you have to take into consideration we did a lot from the air, so we didn't get on the ground to count it. And if you count that, sometimes we had to kill the same stuntman 3 times. It probably is around 600.
I think it's funny because when Punisher Warzone came out and some of these other movies came out, they all cited Rambo 5 as the movie that they were trying to live up to, and you sort of recreated the action gore genre. How does that make you feel, and where does this movie go from there?
I feel very, very honored to be part of that.
Thank you all very much.
No, you know, I just believe that if you're going to really do violence and make it, yeah. But there's a part where if you make it kind of like heroic, okay. If you do it in a kind of insidious, like you're a serial killer, not good.